Chapter 2. Enter the President. By 10 in the morning, the resort knew something was wrong with the day, even if it could not name it. The staff could feel it first. Housekeeping carts that usually glided suddenly hesitated at corners. The bartender, who never spilled a drop, missed the center of a glass. The man who rented out paddleboards kept looking at the palm trees as if they were trying to brief him. Then the black SUVs appeared. They did not belong on the horseshoe drive in front of the lobby. They looked like they had taken a wrong turn at a summit meeting and ended up in a brochure. Family vacation, the manager kept saying to anyone who made eye contact. Private. Very private. Casual. The phrase very private did not usually include snipers discreetly checking sightlines from the rooftop bar, but there is a first time for everything. Inside Suite 802, President Kylo Kai Tanoa faced his most persistent enemy. The wardrobe. The suit hung on one side, blue, precise, accusing. It had been pressed by a man named Hector in Washington, who believed in shame as a tailoring tool. On the other side, a pair of navy swim trunks with a faint pattern of sea turtles waited patiently. "You are the leader of the free world," intoned his chief of staff, Calvin, in his head. "You are on holiday," Rosa Finnegan had said last night, tilting her head in that way that converted suggestion into law. Between those two authorities, the tie hanging on the wardrobe door had started to look like a noose. His phone buzzed on the bedside table. He checked it. Calvin. Briefing doc sent. Light reading. Overnight developments. North Korea. Markets. New meme featuring you and a pineapple. Apologies in advance. Kai flicked the screen off. Not yet, he told himself. Not for an hour. He pulled on the swim trunks. They felt indecent, like wearing a secret. He grabbed the t-shirt Rosa had bought him in town yesterday. Local-ish, it said. Somewhere in the suite, Emily laughed. The sound loosened something tight in his chest. She stepped in from the balcony, sunglasses in her hair, a towel thrown over one shoulder like a sash of relaxed authority. "They've spotted the motorcade," she said. "3 honeymoon couples have already proposed economic sanctions." He smiled. "We warned the resort. We warned them you were coming," Emily said. "We did not warn them about your father-in-law." There was a thump from the corridor, followed by Harold Pops Finnegan's unmistakable voice through the door. "I am being handled, Rosa. I resent handling. Handlers are for luggage." Kai's security detail had been warned. They were used to foreign ministers, hostile crowds, and the occasional unstable protester. They were not used to a retired Arizona school principal who treated security protocols like pop quizzes he had not agreed to take. Emily kissed Kai on the cheek. "You look like a normal man going to the beach," she said. "That is my goal," he said. "That is impossible," she replied, but with affection, as if impossibility were just another of his appointments. He picked up the folded newspaper from the dresser. It had been placed there by a staffer who still believed in print, but tucked inside were his daily briefings. On the outside, headlines about inflation and midterm rumblings. On the inside, classified summaries with black bars and acronyms. He slipped the briefing pages deeper, so only the sports section showed. Surf competition on the North Shore, local kid taking the lead. Perfect. "Don't take any calls for 30 minutes, Emily said. "Calvin will have palpitations," he said. "He needs the cardio," she said. He loved her, briefly, fiercely, for making jokes in the same rhythm as disaster. By the time Kai stepped into the corridor, the choreography had begun. 2 agents peeled off the wall like well-armed shadows. One walked ahead, one behind. The elevator was already open. The manager, sweating politely, hovered at a respectful distance with a flower lei he clearly regretted agreeing to hold. "Mr. President," the manager said. "Kai, please," he replied. "Or guest. Or that guy in the trunks. Anything but Mr. President within earshot of my father-in-law." "Yes, sir," the manager said, then realized the trap and froze like a rabbit halfway across a road. In the elevator, one of the agents, Cruz, if Kai remembered correctly, cleared his throat. "Sir, we have established a secure perimeter down to the high tide line." Lifeguard posts have been vetted. We're monitoring all drone signals within a 3-mile radius. We've identified 3 influencers likely to attempt proximity. We have eyes on all of them. Excellent, Kai said. Any updates on the real threat? Cruz hesitated. You mean cyber or my father-in-law? Kai said. The agent's lips twitched. We have not yet achieved full containment, sir. Wise man, Kai said. The elevator opened onto the lobby. The air changed, cooler, scented with plumeria, humming with the low, nervous frequency of tourists pretending not to stare. One family in matching green shirts froze mid-check-in. The teenage son's mouth dropped open. The daughter's hand floated toward her phone, then snapped back as her mother hissed some version of "not now" through clenched teeth. Kai smiled and nodded like any other man on holiday who also had a convoy outside. He walked through the lobby and out toward the open-air path to the beach, the newspaper tucked under his arm. The agents adjusted their distance by instinct, learning how to look less like an escort and more like very attentive cousins. The resort's private stretch of sand opened up ahead. Palms framed the sky. The water moved with indifferent grace. And there, already in position as if posing for the cover of a new edition of Overconfident Parenting, stood Pops. Harold Finnegan had beaten him to the stage. He was alone at the water's edge, planted like a monument, watching Lily. His hat was tilted at an angle that tried for jaunty and landed somewhere near stubborn. The look on his face, pride, terror, denial, was so naked Kai almost turned away out of courtesy. Then he heard it, even before he reached the row of loungers reserved for the family. God, I am good, Pop said, to the horizon. Kai felt the reflexive amusement rise. It was like watching a man claim credit for the sun. He let the agents fan out. One took up position by the palm, 2 began the dance of pretending to adjust beach umbrellas. The resort staff had added a few extra loungers without being asked. They had the faintly over-upholstered look of nervous generosity. Kai chose the most ordinary-looking recliner, the one that matched the others exactly. He sat. He set the newspaper on his lap. He watched his father-in-law for 3 seconds, then said, "No, you're not, Pops." It was the casualness that mattered, not the words. The tone said this was a conversation they had been having for years, across different backdrops. A hospital waiting room when Jonah broke his wrist, a campaign bus rolling through scrubland, the tunnel under the Capitol during a bomb scare drill. It was their game. Pops declared his excellence. Kai provided the veto. Pops turned, affronted. "You again," he said. "Do you ever switch off?" "I'm in swim trunks," Kai said, unfolding the newspaper. "This is as off as it gets." He flicked to the sports section, propped one ankle on the opposite knee, and leaned back. The paper rose like a shield of normalcy. From behind it, he could see everything. The reflection in his sunglasses gave him the angle, Pop's posture, the agent's positions, the way Sophie arrived with her camera, already assessing the shot. He read the score from last night's basketball game. He read the headline about some senator's latest grandstanding. His eyes skimmed, but his attention was on the beach, the faint static of walkie-talkies disguised as radios, the subtle shift of an agent when the drone buzzed in the distance. To anyone watching from a distance, he was just a man reading the news, all sharp shoulders softened by the latitude and the lack of tie. To the Secret Service, he was a moving target temporarily stationary. To Pops, he was still the lifeguard who had stolen his daughter and then come back with a motorcade. "Do you actually read that thing?" Pops asked. "Or are you checking your approval ratings between volleyball scores?" "Mostly the cartoons," Kai said. He turned a page. Inside, tucked among the folds, a smaller sheet showed an overnight cable from Brussels. Trade dispute brewing. Another from Seoul. A brief note from his national security advisor. He let his eyes rest just long enough to register, then slid the page deeper. "Any good news?" Sophie asked, dropping onto the lounger beside him, camera strap tangling with the armrest. "There is a surf competition," Kai said. "Local boy in the lead, that counts." "That is good news," she said. Pop snorted. Good news is you not wearing a tie. The world can manage itself for a day. I will inform the world, Kai said. It will be relieved. He folded the paper to a smaller rectangle, deliberately domestic. It rustled like any other newspaper on any other beach. The detail mattered. Somewhere out there, someone was taking a photo. He wanted the record to show that he had tried to be ordinary. The agents watched the waterline. The tourists watched the agents. A child in armbands walked past, pointed straight at Kai, and announced at full volume. He looks like the man on Grandma's television. His father hushed him, mortified. Kai lowered the paper and smiled. I get that a lot, he said. Apparently I resemble several uncles. The child considered this. Are you famous? In this family? Kai said. I am the man who forgot to defrost the turkey last Thanksgiving. Pops barked a laugh. That nearly caused a succession crisis. Sophie clicked the shutter, catching the exact moment. The president in swim trunks, pretending to be just a brother-in-law while the Pacific rolled on behind him. You realize, she said, eyes on her viewfinder, if I ever release this footage, you'll never convince anyone you're intimidating again. I rely on the illusion of competence, he said. Intimidation is extra. He watched Lily over the top of the paper. She had reached chest-deep water now, hair slicked back, face bright. For a moment, an image flashed in his mind, his own mother, Malia, waist-deep in a Fijian bay, calling him back when the sea was rougher and he was smaller. He let the newspaper dip in his lap. The weight of office settled beside the weight of memory. The titles, the seals, the codes, they all seemed faint compared to the sight of his daughter-in-law's kid's sister in waves, his nephew piloting disaster overhead, his wife laughing with her mother under a palm. See? Pops said, misreading his silence. You're impressed. I have produced a responsible young adult and a very gifted chaos goblin. That's parenting. Kai looked at him, then at the paper, then at the ring of agents, and at the sky where the drone carved dangerous circles. He thought of the morning brief, still hidden in the business section. He thought of the call he would have to take in an hour on the balcony, voice low, while the luau band tuned up below. He thought of Calvin in Washington, pacing. Then he thought of something else, of the tiny sliver of freedom reclaimed by the simple act of reading the funnies on a beach, while his father-in-law boasted to the horizon. You are something, Kai said at last. Something good, Pops said. Kai raised the paper again, hiding his smile. We will negotiate the adjective later, he said. He settled deeper into the recliner, legs stretched, newspaper up, every inch the man on holiday reading about tides and teams. The ocean hissed gently against the shore. The agents, almost relaxed, shifted weight from one foot to the other. From a balcony 3 floors up, Jonah's drone took a sudden dip. Jonah, Kai murmured, without looking. One of the agents was already moving. To the rest of the beach, it looked like nothing at all. A family with secrets, a man with a newspaper, a day like any other. Which was, of course, the point.